I'll give it a few minutes.
Put it on
Try
Facebook
to see
real
if
quick.
people hop on. Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone had a great Tuesday. Sorry, I am running late. I had a couple of errands I had to do today. So I am running late. I did try to make it so we can get on there just a little bit today. We will be talking about sleeping with the enemy, part two of it. We have Mr. Island here with us today to give his point of view on it. And then, are you a simp? Which won't be long because we're still getting his point of view on it. So um, we just on here. I'm waiting on people to get in here. So how was your day, Mr. Island?
Long. And I ain't go to bed on time last night, so I was up pretty late, and it was a struggle getting through work. Honestly, like I was literally if I said longer than 30 seconds, I was doing the
Not
old nod, and
yeah, right.
but it was actually smooth. Coasted through. Came home, made a nice little dinner. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
everybody to hear how fat I am, but it was a lot.
No, that
But I
sounds
did have
good
a nice salad.
with it.
I had a
Yeah, I
very
throw that
nice
salad
salad
in there with it. That
with
sounds good.
Catalan.
I didn't even finish
Yeah,
cooking
it
because
was
I
it was
had to
cool.
leave. So I gotta finish
Mm. And I'm
at
still
least.
eating.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying
Still
to do
eating
my
on Thanksgiving potato salad. My auntie's famous potato salad. I'm still eating on.
shoot. I couldn't do no more. Yesterday I was Sunday's supposed to have been the last day, but
You say
yesterday
you didn't finish cooking?
no, I can't eat on it no more. I didn't finish cooking today. I gotta go back and cook my fried
There we go,
potatoes.
buffer.
Is it messing up?
What the heck?
It's buffering just a little bit. I see you now. You moving again. You
It
moving
don't
again.
never buffer for us.
It acts up when it want to. That's all.
Mm.
Yeah.
Something like a child or a. I'm not gonna say the other one.
Behave. Yep,
Yeah,
behave.
always.
Okay.
How you been though?
I've been okay. Um, just been busy a little
How's
bit.
Miss Keita been doing?
I've been all right. Okay, not too bad. Just a little busy, but I'm here, still pressing through. Can you hear me?
We're gonna have to one day discuss the. I can hear you.
Okay.
It buffered a little bit, but it kept back up.
Okay.
We're gonna have to discuss the fallout of the Mr. Pop the Balloon, Mr. AK, Mr. Pick Me episode. 'Cause I'm still having stuff pop up from that.
Yeah, I know. One of lifestyles with Eric, his buddy was on there. It's supposed to air tonight. He said he went on there, so I want to see it as well.
He was
Pop
on the
the
Silver
balloon.
Fox.
Is that what it was? The
Yeah,
silver foxes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the 40 and up crew.
Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to air tonight. He said.
I tell everybody it's a fun show. It's a cool. Like I said, I want to sit in the crowd. I want to go on there again.
Mm-hmm. You should go on there again. Well, they do the reunion though, don't
Everybody
they?
keeps saying you can't go on there. Like, why not?
Why not? It's a dating show. Why not?
You was buffering. You said I should go on.
I said, why not? It's a dating show, but they do the reunion where you go on there anyway.
They do a follow up. They do a reunion. But I want to go on there because like you said, it's a dating show, and people say it, but they don't want to or accept it. But you can date more than one person at a time, and it's like, but see, what I've learned from that, honestly, is people really live their fantasies through shows like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've had people say, "Are y'all getting married?" Um, oh, I just want to know what happened afterwards. Are you guys in love? But I'm like, don't you know love take time? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's 2024. Maybe because I'm damaged, or maybe because I've been through some things. But I wouldn't trust just falling in love with somebody like that. I'm sorry. I ain't no dreamer like that. Cinderella story. That shit became a sale. So,
I
but
think
I
it
mean,
could
I've had people
happen.
say that
Yeah, I think it could happen. You just gotta find that right one though. But I believe it could happen.
upon meeting somebody though.
Yeah, I believe it could happen. Love at first
Man,
sight.
I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
say nothing is impossible, but I mean, because Donald Trump became president again as a 36-time felon, so I ain't saying nothing is impossible, but
Nothing
I
is
just wouldn't
impossible.
trust it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's true.
that's just,
They
but
they get it, they getting it mixed up with the
it's
Bachelor and the Bachelorette. That's all.
boy, you ain't lying. I swear for God, I man, and now we're gonna say that for a show. Because man, I got so much I want to discuss about that. What I learned about, I know women, I know how energy affects women, but just two words, it done a lot. Two words in a stare, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
It's 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 interesting. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Very interesting. Well, yep, you should. You should go
You
back
did
on
watch
there.
your auntie, right?
Mm-hmm. We did. Yes, we did.
I know y'all had a good laugh.
Yes, we was cracking up on it. Matter of fact, we was watching it together.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh man, yeah, y'all was laughing. Yeah, I was laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall we had one of the best episodes that I've seen, but I've only seen my episode on up. I haven't seen any other past ones.
I watched a few
But
of them.
I,
I watched a
did you?
few. I didn't really care for the BBW one. I didn't like that one at all. And then it was another one I watched. I didn't get through that one yet though, so I want to go back on there and get through it. But yeah,
Was it BTW Part Two, or was it the one after that? But
it
you
was
remember
like
the number?
early on. I think that was like maybe 12, maybe 7. Because one of the ladies that was on there, we knew her, so we went and watched that episode. But yep, I
Yeah,
know.
it's one. It's one.
Yeah, my cousins, they know like a few of them that's been on there. So, but it's interesting to
A few of
even
your
just
cousins have been on
know they know some of the people that's been on there. They went to school with them
there.
or just knew
Oh,
them from
okay.
like the neighborhood. Hmm. Yep. So it'll be good. Yep. You should. You should go back on there. Did he? Is it a disclaimer where you can't go back on there or?
It was some people that's been on there that's been on my show. They didn't find love, but they were back on there.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of waiting till I'm waiting to let, I guess you could say, the right moment, the right episode when something pulls me to say go on there, because
Hmm.
I'm not used to all the attention, and I received a lot of attention from it, and it's made me bashful at times. Let's put it like that. And I'm not a bashful
Yeah.
person, but it's different.
And you like all that attention a little bit.
It's flattering. It's flattering. And so I'm gonna say it is flattering. You know, I could see how if someone didn't believe, if somebody wasn't their own cheerleader, I could see how this could go to their head.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I haven't even commented. I started saying thank you to people in the comments and stuff. Then I was told by people who do social media, they said, "Oh, don't say nothing. They don't think you're thirsty. Don't say thank you. Don't." I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I don't. I said, "Look, ain't nobody even heard from me since the show. Like,
Yeah,
unless you message me personally, and I know you, and it's been people who messaged me, and I'm like, and literally said, "Were you on Pop the Blue?" And I said, "Why are you concerned with my life? I ain't talked to you in years. Like, why are you concerned with my life at this point? Just because of the
they
show."
seen you on there. They want to know. They seen you
But
on there. Like, is that you?
yeah, it's interesting. But like I said, I am going to do it again at some point. But I like to challenge the status quo. So I want to be the one walking out asking questions.
Yeah,
Because I'm,
yeah.
I'm gonna ask some hard ones. you
Hmm.
know,
That'd be good. You should
make
be the
people
one.
have to be transparent to the world,
Yeah.
which tells a lot about yourself.
Hmm. I think you should go on for it.
Like, what age range should I go to? Like, should I wait till the next silver fox comes up?
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever comes out there comes out there. What would
I
you
know they
suggest,
say
Miss Keto?
40 and up, but the Silver Foxes is more 50-ish, 60-ish. They in between that era. So I think you
Did you
should
hear
get
me?
just wait on another one. Wait on another one. Not
Well,
not
he got
see, I don't get to see his lineup before it comes on. I don't know why.
nobody does.
So how would you know
You
what
have to follow him or like on Facebook or Instagram,
hmm
and then he'll tell you what the next week's episode is going to be. But like he just say he's going to not do a Silver Fox episode. Is that?
I ain't saying that. I'm listening to you.
Oh,
You hear me?
he said he's not going to do another Silver Fox episode for a while. Now he's doing BONs, big old Negroes.
Oh my goodness.
So they said a lot of people been asked about, and then they asked about white women. So they're gonna do one. I, whatever the people ask, he gives. That's all. One thing I respect about him. Man. If you ask for it, he delivers. And I'm
Right.
like, man, if I went on there, it'd be an uproar. Oh man,
Mm.
that would be funny.
You already know. You talking about for what, the white women one?
See, next time I want to go on there, I want some people. The first time I didn't tell nobody, but this time if I go on there, I want to nice about people in the crowd that know me.
Hmm.
That'll make it too much. Cause my people turn up, they have fun, they are respectful, but they gonna be in there. They gonna make the environment fun. The
Yeah.
certain people I would invite. You know,
Hmm.
but
Yep.
I
Well, let me
do.
know when you plan on going back on there then.
And this time I dress, dress as they say for a first date.
Yeah, dress for a first date. Don't go in there looking a hot mess like some of them be on there.
Why? Is
It'd be a lot on my seat that
it?
be
You
looking
should go
just
on
like
there.
anything. I should go on there. Mm, I gotta see.
Yeah.
I gotta see.
I mean, I'm trying to get my cousin and a good female friend of mine, my best female friend. I'm trying to get her to go on there. I'm trying to get a whole, but he got plenty of women. It's the men that don't come through, and
Hmm.
it's to me it's crazy because it's like I believe the women deal with more pressure from the internet, and as far as the show, but the women are more vicious too when they deal with rejection.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. Like nobody likes rejection, especially on that scene. But it's like, being on the show and watching it, I can see little things. And like when I was on the show, I had some women checking me out while they was in line and while they was after, after the part when I was not up on the line anymore. And but you popped my balloon, but you checking me out.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't like what came out of my mouth, not because of how I answered the question, but because basically I'm like, hey, common sense. This is Halloween. I'm supposed to be scary,
Right.
but you checking me out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I digress. I don't know.
Right. That's true. So that's true. So let's go on and get started. We are 16 minutes in. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Please hit the like button, share the video out, please, and subscribe if you are not a subscriber. And then, so like I said, the topic is: did you watch last week's? When I did it last week, did you watch any of it?
No, I haven't. I haven't got a chance to watch it.
Okay. Okay. So you
I was
probably pretty much missed it.
before we started. It's not enough.
Yeah, because I played like a video, especially of the Are You a Simp? And with the sleeping with the enemy, we just basically talked about different things. And Auntie, she
Mhm.
was she went in with it, so she went deeper than expected
I'm
with it.
gonna say she. I might have to watch when we get off of here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know she went in. That's all I'm gonna say. I know she went in.
Yeah, she did. So,
But
like I said, sleeping with the enemy. So, what are your thoughts on? Because I brought up like different things, which she brought up with hers was basically relationship wise, trusting who you actually with, who you going to be with, and what's she saying? Just don't be selling for anything, and because you got so many different people out here. So she gave a female's perspective on it, and also a male's perspective as well on that. And so she went in on it, but I talked about little different things. I seen a video of a couple. The guy, he ended up really having he had AIDS, and when she met him, she gave her story. When she met him, she didn't know. She didn't know they were together for a while. He made a comment saying he's gonna put his mark on her. She didn't understand what he was talking about. Months later, she ended up getting sick, went to the doctor, found out what it was or whatever. So
mm,
um it was a story that I seen. I think that was on Instagram, I want to believe. Um and I spoke on that, and just the different partners that you're dealing with, like what's behind it or how they're treating you, and sleeping with the enemy. So what's your thoughts on it? You like buffering, you stuck.
um, actually, that kind of hits home with me. Um, I believe a lot of times I've been through that multiple times. I know I've been through it in my relationships. I'm
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to tell enough that I'm not being too personal and still respecting the other
Hmm.
people. But you know, I've been in two relationships, and I feel like both of those were there. You
Yeah.
you never truly know a person, and all you can do is really hope that they're being forthcoming. If you're not talking boundaries and hell, even self respect, um, you what to look for in a person as far as red flags and stuff. You're not
Right.
taught these things. You don't learn in high school from getting your heart broke. Because I didn't go through have normal high school life like most people. You have to learn these things the hard way. Um, but yes, I quote unquote slept with the enemy. The mother of my oldest child, may she rest in peace, and we ended up being able to laugh about it. But I can share that with you. When I met her, she was at CVS working, just being me. Everybody says I'm a natural flirt, so if you want to say I was flirting, I was flirting. But I didn't plan on getting her phone number. And I never forget,
Yeah.
it was December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. And
Mhm.
she gave a note to her coworker to give to me. She was in the makeup department. She opened up her counter to bring me back over there to talk to her, to ring me up. And then as I'm leaving, because I didn't ask for her phone number, she said, "Best Christmas present you ever had." Well, what I didn't know was the mother of my child, she had sickle cell. She had previously lost two children. I believe she suffered from it, postpartum. And, it's a psychological thing. When women lose children, they want to have children again real fast and all this other stuff. And I don't know the time between her meeting me and having, losing the kids, whatever. But long story short, I asked her years later, after my daughter was born and after we had not been in a relationship, I said, "Did you get pregnant on purpose? Like, did you plan on getting pregnant by me?" She said, "Yeah." I told my coworker that's gonna be my baby daddy.
Mhm.
And that was a woman with a plan. So here I am being genuine in everything I'm doing. Whereas, here I am just being a young guy, got his nose open, thinking he done found some little older thing, just want to get it in. And I don't know, she had a plan.
Mhm.
And that's just the one example I can use. It's been countless others. It's been countless where I mean, I'm always a genuine person. And it's not been the same. A lot of times I feel like, and I can speak for men because I am a man, that when you're a genuine, like good guy, as they quote, you don't come to women like most guys, whether it's more aggressive or more what they're used to out in this world. Let's put it like that. They tend to think you're soft and they can run over you and manipulate you.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it doesn't help because you do have these simps out here who make it hard for you to be a cool guy and kind of, I like to think I'm a man that kind of kind of just flow naturally in between, um, but because you do have simps out here who and men who just try to buy a woman and say whatever, and then you got the internet that they really think they can play you. So when you're being genuine, um, they really try to in the worst way you possibly could. And people can fake. I mean, people can put on acts, and people say all the time. You see, what about red flags? I know you seen it. I done heard stories where
You breaking up a little bit.
when you're blinded by love, when you only see the best in people, when you try to say, you know what, I'm gonna be paid. We have the patience of Job for I'm a church folk. You tend to go through a lot of things that the outside world looking when you vent, say, well, you should have seen that coming, or you should have been left.
Mhm.
You know, versus looking for a place, a person to respond with understanding. It's like, you should have seen that, and you don't because you're in the midst of the storm. You don't
You,
see where the lightning's
you,
coming from. You just hear the thunder by the time you done got hit by the lightning. So
right.
I
That's true.
mean, sleeping with the enemy is so easy to happen.
Mhm.
It's just all you can do is have your boundaries, trust your instincts, trust your gut. You still be honest and do your half, but when and communicate, hey, you know what, I'm feeling this. It might not be that, but maybe it's me and not you. Everybody know that line. And
Exactly. Yes, they
we
do.
get away. And maybe it's me. maybe it ain't you.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of some of what how I feel about the sleeping with the enemy thing.
That's good because I used my relationship, my marriage as an example too. Um, where I felt like he felt like I was the enemy, which I wasn't, never ever. But the whole time I felt like that's what I don't know if it was just issues that he had with just maybe trusting women or whatever it may be. But I felt that way too. So I use mine as an example of, just being careful who you sleep with and then feeling like you are the enemy half of the time. But I get what you're saying. I'm more of the nicer one and let a lot go. But yeah, it is what it is. And I'm never out to like try to hurt nobody, especially have kids like that on nobody. Now we both came into agreement when it came to kids, basically. So, but yeah, I understand that. And when you found out she did get pregnant, did you, how did you feel like after the fact, knowing that was her plot?
When I found out that she did
When she got pregnant and she told
betrayed.
you that was her goal.
Well, she didn't tell. Well, here's the thing. She didn't tell me when she got pregnant. I did. I just put it together over the years, and I just came out and asked her one day. That's all it was. Like, and it was years. Like, my daughter was 1 or 2, and I
Mm-hmm.
just happened to say, "Did you get pregnant on purpose? Did you plan on having a baby by me?" She's like, she said so. And the funny part is she said it so nonchalant. She's like, "Yeah." I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what? I'm 22. I was 21 when I met you. I was 22. May 2nd, my daughter's born in November. I'm 22 years old. You're saying now she's 6 years older than me, but still, she was still young. And I'm like, what? You said like I'm supposed to accept that. Like really,
Right.
like, oh, it's nothing, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and what do you do with that? Like,
I mean,
there's no point in being mad.
at that point, you can't do nothing but accept it because that's what it was.
And, it's things like things we've talked about in the past. Now the viewers can see that part of why I have my opinions shaped the way they are. It's things like that when we talk about the child support and I didn't have an option in that. I didn't have a bone in that fight, a dog in that fight. Like once she got what she wanted, it wasn't like I could say, "Hey, I didn't plan on that. You manipulated me. You should have an abortion."
Right.
Or I'm not even for abortions. So it's like, no, I'm
Hmm.
stuck with it. And the people, well, you should have been using protection. You should have. What the reality of it is it's different when somebody still has malice intent towards you.
Yeah.
And then I was young. I'm not saying I should have known better. I've been having sex, but not knowing those boundaries, going off of how I feel, but trusting, hoping that somebody's being honest like you,
Hmm.
and they got a whole agenda. That traumatizes you for the rest of your life. You know, I've experienced some things with women where it's like, really? I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about after sex, and it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to always be in control of the situation because I can't
Hmm.
get that power to a woman.
Yeah.
Let's just put it like that, because I've been done bad in that sense, and a whole child came of it.
Right. Exactly.
I got to put my own stuff on child support.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did she put a child on me, I put myself on child support just to have the best relationship I could with my child. So you put a young 22-year-old man through a ringer early in life, changed the whole trajectory of my life. Might have saved me. I'm not going to Not my daughter. Like she's a blessing out this world. She's my twin. Gave me purpose and structure and focus, but it's different when you don't have a choice.
Exactly. Exactly. It's totally different. So I agree with that. So that was pretty good. Do you have any more other examples of sleeping with the enemy?
Man, yeah, these. um, I've had countless conversations. I have a whole spiel I do when I first meet women. Talk about catching feelings, communicating, real dude. You ain't got to play the little games and all that. And I get the I'll be honest. I can communicate. I want to catch feelings. I want to. And it's been times where trying to do something different and take a woman out to eat and try to create a energy, as they like to say, a vibe now. And
It's a
one
vibe.
one thing leads to another, and you know I'm communicating that the moment has come, and she don't want to move. And then I say it again, and she don't want to move.
Hmm.
And I say it a third time, and she don't want to move. And then turn around and blame it on me and say, why didn't I push her off? And then go, oh, you got money for a plan B? We
Hmm.
can go when I get to work so I can watch you take this thing. And then, oh, I already took it. Can you just send the money?
Oh wow.
Like I have experienced some things, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, my marriage, I'll just share this tidbit. At one point after we've been separated for years and all that, I asked her, did you really want to marry me? She said no. I feel pressured by you and my family.
Oh wow.
I even going down the aisle, I even told her, if you don't want to do this, then we can put on the show and we ain't got to sign no papers. No, no, I
Hmm.
want to do it.
I get that.
So
Hmm.
you talking about sleeping with the enemy. I don't think you get much closer than your spouse when you're married. Like it's, and like I said, I tell the world I had a Cinderella story, married her in 8 months, fell in love, all that. I mean, I
Hmm.
did the proposing, I was celibate, everything I was quote unquote thought you was supposed to do. And you figure after 7 years plus, somebody come back and tell you that.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I'm gonna leave it alone there. Respectfully respecting her and respecting our situation and all that. But and that goes back to when I used to talk to vent to people. Well, you didn't see this, you didn't. If you had to say that, then you shouldn't have got married. You should have known.
Hmm.
No,
No. That's
no.
why I said you got to go through it, and that's why I was telling Auntie last week. I said, you being young, you really don't know. And with us being older and wiser, now we know the difference. And I was like, the information that we're given, we could help somebody else now. Because a lot of people don't know. When you're young, you don't know. You just going with the flow. And then you go through it. You going through all them trials and stuff. And some last, some don't. So that's just what it is.
You're exactly right. I
Yeah.
got a nephew right now. He tell you, I ain't taking no girl on no date. And he be like, look, he got his job, he got whatever he do. He ain't out here running the streets and nothing like that. I did went to college, said it wasn't for him. And like when it comes to the dating world, he like, shoot,
Yeah.
I got dreams and goals I'm trying to achieve. You can fit in here if you want to. But he's seen what I went through also.
Yeah.
He's seen my transparency. I've taught him over the years indirectly, and then once I learned it directly, self love. You know,
Yeah.
he's seen when you put yourself as a man and you spread yourself thin and put yourself before everybody with yourself. He's seen his uncle go through that, so he's like,
Hmm.
uh. you know.
Yeah.
But it's hard, especially when especially when you vibe with a person's personality, and you'll never even think to look past that they could be being fake. They could be a
Hmm.
wolf in sheep's clothing.
They sure can. It's hard. You got to learn the hard way, or even see it the hard way. So, totally agree.
It's even harder that you can't enjoy the next person that comes along fully because you've been damaged. And again, seems too good to be true. What you hiding behind the eyelashes?
That's that's true,
You
and
know,
and that's why you got to heal before you even try to get with somebody else, because you don't want to bring all that baggage on to the next.
I mean, that's always the truth. And this is what I tell people. That's true. But what you do on the cold, lonely nights? I
Yeah,
don't care. I don't care about no healing. All that primal urges kick in, and
but
women got more options than men.
but it just depends on what you actually looking for. If you just out there to get you know what, then you ain't got to worry about no feelings. You ain't got to worry about none of that.
Mhm. Yeah, but as a man, you can still sleep with the enemy.
You right. You still gonna have to watch your back. You never know when
Hey,
you go down.
I went in with my baby mama with no feelings involved. I fell in love.
Hmm.
Mm. At 21, 22, I fell in love. I discovered what the difference between lust and love was real quick.
Yes, you do. Most definitely. So, I heard you mention something. You was like buffering a little bit, but I heard you mention something about the simp, being a simp, and um, what you said basically is the video I played. Basically, the young lady was basically saying when she met her husband, she called him a simp. She said she had 3 kids.
I seen that.
Yeah. Okay. She had the 3 kids, and she was like,
The fact he took her and her kids, she knew he was a simp.
mm-hmm. So what you think about that?
Um, that whole dynamic messes me up because I'm the son of a mother who was a single parent and
Mm-hmm.
had 3 kids. So like I was raised to think and believe that if you get one who had kids, them your kids. That's just what it is. Now, growing, learning, you know better, you do better. Now that kicks in, and it's like even at 41, I have to say I have 4 children. I have to accept a woman with at least 4 kids. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be in a relationship with somebody who got kids,
Right.
but her mindset behind it, the first thing it does is trigger me. It's like again, where's the boundary between being a good guy and
Mm-hmm.
you know quote unquote a simp,
Mm-hmm.
or where does it lie with the women that looks at the good guy as a simp because he done that?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
we hear women yelling, "Where are the good men at? Where are the good men at?" And from what I see from the internet, most of them are mothers,
Mm-hmm.
single mothers. So we get these mixed messages. So we simps if we take on a woman with kids as our own,
Exactly.
but then if we don't want to talk to women who got kids, we dogs. We wrong for that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things I attribute, and I do my majority thing. A lot of things I attribute to what I hear women say through the internet is just out their mouths is just like their emotions. It's up and down. It's whatever pleases them, stimulates them, that emotional need that they're wanting at that moment, and it can change because in one breath you can have that one woman saying that, and then her sitting at the table with another woman saying, "Well, I'm waiting for a man to come through and help me with these kids." But then, do you really
Exactly.
want the man, or do you want the man to help you with these kids in your life that you got this
Mm-hmm.
your consequences, your decisions? So it's just it's an ugly dynamic, and it's an ugly truth we need to face.
Yeah.
But to be called a simp because you stepped up and
Took care of somebody else's
took care of
kids.
somebody's kids, you- she has the wrong mindset in my eyes because I wouldn't necessarily call a man a simp for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's if I was what I consider a simp is a man who just what we used to call them back in the day. Uh, oh my god, I have my brain fart right now. Well, anyway, um, if you just put all women on a pedestal and you do whatever and you say you get all the quotes and try to say the right line, and you spend all your money and you just you know take the bad from her with the good and say it's okay, I'll love you anyway. If she go out and cheat on you, and like I'll still love you. Like to me, that's a sin. You have no self respect.
Mm-hmm.
When you have no
Yeah.
self respect and she runs all over you, and you might not even know it.
Mm-hmm.
You might because I tell everybody I played every role but the trick. I
Yeah.
done been this. I done
Mm-hmm.
been the player. I done been it all but the trick.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no problem admitting. And I was a simp in my marriage. You can be a husband and be a simp. It's just a thin line, but I think the ultimate, like I said before, is the amount of self respect you have for yourself. Because here's the thing: if you really do have self respect as a man, if you do know yourself, if you do have those boundaries, if you know how to stay focused on the family, the goals, ambitions, dreams, and all that, then a woman might call you narcissistic or overbearing or well, I don't have a say so in nothing, and he just thinks it's his way or no way. But then when you try to be a partner, you get run over and you call a simp.
Yeah.
But she wants the dominating man.
I guess it kind of just depends, and women can be a little difficult when it comes down to that because, like I said, you have women. Some women don't mind a good guy that's gonna be there, take care of his family, do it all or whatever. And then you got the ones that where the women are a little bit more controlling. I'll put it that way. And that steps up and want to take the lead role and the man lets them, they don't like that. That they normally don't like that. And then some of them be like, "Oh, I'm cool with it," but 9 times out of 10, a lot of them don't like that, and then they rather get the knucklehead out here that probably go up beside their head. So it's just like I think it's a thin line. I really think they should really stop using simp. Maybe that's that new age stuff. Simp. What would have? What was it called before then?
Back in the day, it was a trick,
Okay,
trick,
trick, whip,
trick,
whatever. So
trick. That's all it was. It
well,
was just one word for all of it.
yeah. Well, back then they say it ain't tricking if you got it. If you got the money
and
to
that
spend.
and guess who probably came up with that? A trick, because it's still tricky. You
Yeah.
got to make say stuff to make comfortable so you don't feel some type of way about yourself.
Mhm.
Tricking is tricking. Don't give a dang what it is. If you got it, it's just tricking, and you got more money to trick with.
Mhm.
Ask a pimp. He'll tell you that,
Yeah.
dude. I just
So, so I just really think, and it's always the opposites that do attract. Some men don't mind a dominant woman. A lot of them don't mind that. And just rather sit back and be more laid back or whatever. So I just wanted to get like a clarity on what is actually a simp.
yeah. Like I said, it's just man. What is that term we used to say back in the day where a dude fall in love with a chick every time he has sex and then they want to? What is that called? Oh man, I forget. I got a friend like that. Um. Oh, dang. Anyway, I was right there on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, it's and most. I mean, I hate to say it. I'm not. I don't come for y'all women. I swear, but it has a lot to do directly with the man's relationship with his mother
Hmm.
and the lack thereof of a male influence to teach and direct him about how to deal with women. Like again, I played every role. I was raised in a family to where I lived in servitude. to women, to my family. So it's nothing for me to put the woman first. I
Yeah.
didn't know how to put myself first. So my only advice my grandmother gave me was make her smile.
Mhm.
I never got talked to even by my mother about women. So when it came to me dealing with women, I knew to be sweet and nice, and I seen abuse growing up from other men. I didn't like that, so it's like I don't want to, I want to be aggressive with them. I don't want to yell at them. But what I found out is, as they like to say now, men have to learn to speak to the little girl in the woman.
Mhm.
Whether that means you got to be daddy, and that's what they really want. And you have and every woman's different, but then it's this: I got to be stern, but then you want me to be gentle. But if I'm gentle, you run over me. But if I'm stern all the time, I'm abusive. But I've seen the men who were abusive get the care and everything that you want from a woman, except the guy who was caring and gentle.
Right. That's out of fear though.
Is it? Is it or is it a natural instinct?
That's out of fear.
Because even in nature, it ain't the weakest males that run the herds and get all the kids by all the female lionesses and all that. And there is a thin line between fear and respect. You can't even have respect without a slight hint of fear in there.
Mhm.
Name me one woman in a relationship that respects a man that she don't fear that there's a consequence to her actions towards that man, especially if she disrespects him. And I'm not saying it has to be abusive. It don't have to be physical. It don't have to be verbal. If you can show me that, then I can show you a woman who runs all over a man who don't have has a dominating sense of self respect for herself and lets her get away with anything just because she's an adult. I show you a woman running over and playing a man. I know because I was that man.
Mhm.
It's just one of those things where we needed to have daddies in the house. Like I said, I'm not for physical abuse or nothing like that, but
That's where it starts from. That whole even having that back in the house and um matter of fact when I was driving today on my way back, they were talking about how the man's not in the home and how some women they call themselves the mother and the father, and women shouldn't say that. So, um, a lady was speaking, just letting it be known, like she don't, she was like she grew up. She was like her mother never said that, she was the woman or the man, and she felt the same way. Like, and I was like, no, I was like, you have single parents out here, but I'm not gonna sit up there and say I'm the man because I don't want to be the man. The man needs to be there for his child. I can't do both because it takes two to play that part. I can't do both. So I most definitely understand how they feel on that. So, but I was like, yeah, you do. You got some women that, oh, I'm the man and I'm the woman, and they was basically saying you got to quit teaching your kids that or saying that to your kids because you're not both. You can't play the man part.
I am. I have a friend who, her and her husband, we were over hanging out, drinking, and having playing board games. And she raised her children and by herself and everything. And we had a very big heated exchange about that very subject. And her husband was like, "He's not telling you want a good mother." I mean, she got to crying. She broke out in tears. Not with no boohoo tears like she felt sorry for herself or nothing, but it was just like she's hearing me say what I'm saying. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, and I like to break things down simple, like just simple ABC. She's like, I
Yeah.
raised my sons to be a man, and da 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 da. I'm not like the average female. My father raised me, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's true and all. I said, but here's the thing: when that little boy go to have his wet dream, can you explain to him what he's feeling and what he thinks and what it felt like and all that, and why you going
Right.
through this? You can't teach him from a man's perspective about anything in life because you're not a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a man trying to teach a girl about having a period. Some things you just can't do because you're not that gender,
Yeah.
and And, a whole generation was messed up behind that. Being, whether a mother said it or not, if she acted on it. I've
Mhm.
seen, and I'm gonna ask you, kid, if you've seen this. I've seen where some mothers go harder on their sons with punishments and how to be a man and all that, harder than the actual man would go.
Yeah. If they're single, yeah, I can see that a lot where they are a little bit harder on the men. I mean, I tell my son all the time, like I could teach you how to treat a woman, but I can't tell you how to be a man because I don't know, I don't know nothing about that. So,
You
but
know, you said something that meant a lot to me that you just said. And you don't even realize it. Like it meant a lot. You
hmm
didn't say I could teach my son how to be a husband, how to love a woman. You said how to treat a woman.
hmm
Because one, first of all, a lot of women don't even do that. A lot of women don't teach their sons anything about women.
hmm
Maybe open up a door, don't hit them.
yeah,
That's it. But even when how to deal with the woman from a man's perspective, you can't do
mm
that either.
mm
The only thing a mother can truly do to prepare her son to deal with women is teach a man about womanly ways and try to help him understand why she does it or something like that and
exactly,
build defenses up. That's it.
yeah,
Because there's no way that a man can process as a woman. There's two different perspectives, spectrums, everything. And to
hmm
hear you just generally say, I can teach them how to treat a woman. Yes, all women can do that because all women can treat their sons how they would have wanted to be treated. But here's the catch to that too. When teaching a son that, it's the thin line between teaching that son how you wanted to be treated by a man, how you seen a woman get treated by a man, like your mother, i.e.,
hmm
or your idea of what you think a man should do to a woman, treat a
right,
woman. Because here's the catch: depending on where a woman is at that moment, is how he should treat her. And
mm
I've said this before in the show because I've seen something years ago. It's come up in different type of subjects, but this young lady gave a story about how she went out to the club drunk one time and she was trying to get messed up and get some. And this guy met her at the club. They agreed to go back to the house, but she was so drunk. He was like, "Nah, you go to sleep in my bed. I'm gonna sleep in here." And she's like, "Nah." And basically, at the end, she's like, "How he gonna have more respect for me than I got for myself?" I mean, dang,
hmm
he went, and it's like the reality of it is, however a woman's feeling at that moment, that's how you need to treat her because that's how she wants. She's not going to respect you treating her no other type of way. If she wants to feel like a pillow princess, then you have to be able to read her and treat her like that. If she wants to be treated with a firm hand, you have to read her and know how to do it appropriately. And a woman can't even teach her son that because she's a woman. She knows a woman's going to be like that or might do that, but she can't teach a man how to process it and rebuttal against it. She can give him red flags and things of that nature because every woman's different, and at any different moment that emotion can change.
hmm
Like it's tough for us. And again, I'm saying it's tough for a single mother raising a son. But I go back to these men need to be in homes, and we lost a whole generation of that.
yeah.
I my story. It's something that's going to be hard to fix. It's not going to be in a generation.
Oh, it's not easy at all. And the whole thing of it is it's never gonna get fixed until everybody gets back to that where they want to be in this relationship where you get a two-parent household. Other than that, it's not because people are out here just looking and just going with the flow and sleeping with whoever, and then it's going to be more kids generated, and then it's going to be more single parents because the man find out that the woman is crazy and he don't want to be with her, and or he's abusive and she don't want to be with him. So it's not going to get fixed until you can get back to that two-parent household. If you can't get back to that, it's not going to get fixed at all.
And I think we can't even get back to that until we unite as people, put our people first, our culture first.
That's it. I agree.
Because I honestly think that's where the two-parent household stems from. We know we have to survive for us, just like every other culture.
hmm
Real deep about their culture people. They ain't married outside their culture. They ain't having no babies outside their culture. They child could be the perfect child that they raised. They marry, bring home something outside their culture. They shoot you cut off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I mean, and it's not. And I'm not promoting. separatism. I'm not supporting racism. I'm not supporting race prejudice and none of that. I'm just talking actual facts, like
Hmm.
genetic facts, cultural facts. Us as a people, we need to come together and put our people first. I remember hearing growing up in movies and people saying, "Man, I remember Tupac say, I never think a black man to kill me. I, I, I don't want to harm my brother. Like brothers, just like man, we brothers. Man, I ain't trying to hurt you or harm you because we got all these other enemies. Now we kill each other first or harm each other first in any multitude of ways
Yeah.
before we hurt somebody else. We won't even spend our money. So we
Yeah.
certainly can't come bring a home together.
Exactly.
We
That's.
can't. We having gender wars about even dating, about
Hmm.
who puts the bill. And then once if you get past that, now it's who runs the household.
Yeah.
But you still want the man to pay for everything. But then you a simp if you pay for everything. You a
Yeah.
simp if you step up and take care of the kids.
Hmm. It's crazy. The whole dynamic is just crazy. And I said, I was just thinking yesterday. I was just thinking because I was like, the crazy thing about it is, it's only us, our culture, that cannot get along with each other. You don't hear no other race. You don't hear no other where there is the man against the woman. Or, it's none of that. They could get along, and that's what it is. It's just us where we going this back and forth, this bickering. The system sees this. They want this, and instead of trying to come to a solution on working together, we can't do that. We just letting them keep, oh yeah, yeah, this is what it is, and we still against each other instead of just even trying to listen and be for each other, help each other out, help each other build and grow. We can't do that, and that's sad. That's
You
sad.
know, I the other culture thing. They might not get along. They might not like each other, but they do it because that's what they're supposed to do for the culture, for the family.
Hmm.
I mean, we done seen in the movie, shut up, and take a Xanax. We and a lot of people know in other cultures, it's some very abusive stuff going on that don't go on that way worse than ours. It ain't talked about.
Yeah, it ain't talked about, but they don't do all this extra though.
Yeah, right. They because
And
at
at
the end of
the
the
end of the
day, they
day,
take care of
they gonna
shoot.
stick together.
They gonna stick together.
At the
I
end, they can talk about each other like I don't know what, but the end of the day, they got each other's back.
Hey, can you check if your brother still got that company?
Hmm.
Son needs a job. I ain't
Hmm.
talked to his brother in 30 years because he slept with the wife and cheated,
Hmm.
make the call. Hey, your nephew needs a job, just graduated
Right.
high school. He ain't nothing. He's a
Exactly.
piece of crap like you, but he needs a
Yeah.
job. Gotcha. We can't do
Exactly.
that. We
No.
can't even
We
speak our stores.
can.
You triggered a thought, and I wanted to ask you because I was about to go on a rant, and we was talking about the homes and household. It irks me. Now my question is, I'm gonna ask my questions right after I tell you. It irks me when I hear the line. I'm looking for a man who can lead. He just need to be a leader. When I hear my sister say that, I'm not gonna lie, I get infuriated, and I'll go into it. I'll explain why. But I want to ask you: when women say that, what do they expect? What are they really expecting? Not what they say. Do they say, "Oh, someone who can teach me, someone who can guide me, someone"? What are you really expecting, though?
It just depends on who you talking to and what they actually want. I can't speak for our women. If I'm sitting there saying I want a man to lead, that means I want a man who's going to be able to provide, who's going to be able to be there for the kids and also help teach the kids as well. You got to be that disciplinary, that because like they always say with babies, the mama go sit up there and fuss all day long. The child ain't listening to them. Let the daddy speak. They shutting up and they gonna do what they gonna do. So
Mm,
it's just having somebody there to lead. Like it just depends on what you want them to lead. um I don't need you to teach me at all. I don't need you to teach me. I'm grown. I can teach myself. Now we could build together. I can help you do what you need to do, and you could vice versa. But to lead is a provider for me. That's what a lead is for me. Is a provider, someone that's going to provide for their family. That's what I need. I'm not going to sit up and say, "Oh, I need a leader." I don't need a daddy. I need a leader that's going to provide for me and my family.
So
Mhm.
outside of providing monetarily, what else would you? What other provisions would you want him to provide with?
I mean, it don't even have to be monetary. It could be whatever. Like you taking care of whatever it needs to be. You the man of the household. If you say, "Hey, this is what I want to do," when it comes to even the house, I've always been the type. Okay, with me, I've always been the type when I do make decisions, I will always go to at the time my spouse and be like, "What you think about this? What about this decision?" I didn't have to, but I did because I wanted him involved and to get his opinion. Maybe he didn't care half the time about half the stuff, but I did, and I wanted him involved. Like, so what you think about this? What you think about that? Instead of me just making a decision on my own, because it's supposed to be both of us, not just, oh, I'm gonna just make this decision. I want you to do it as well. That's just how I look at it. Women looks at it differently when it comes to leading. Some women do want a man to be their daddy because they probably never had one. I don't want you to be my daddy. I want you to just be that provider that you're supposed to be. As they say, your helpmeet. I need you to be whatever you want to sit up there and take care of. If it's a good idea, I got your back. I got your back.
So I made this comment to a young lady in the conversation last night. I hear women say that all the time. And well, let me first say it pisses me off because, you know, and I'm a self project, men still don't get that pass of having to be a leader, but not having a blueprint for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mamas is always there. Even I mean, not technically, but mamas is since dad left the household, mama's been in the household. Mama's held it down. So women have a blueprint, whether good or bad, you got a blueprint. So you're asking a young man, I don't give a care if you're 30 years old, you get married, or even if you're dating, you want him to be a leader. He ain't got no blueprint to be no leader, but he still does not get that pass. He does not get that time to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard women say, "Oh, you got to come healed. You got to come prepared." Most of y'all ain't, but we got to deal with y'all mess. We have to deal with every man that you dealt with, whether it was a one night stand or your first heartbreak. We got to deal with all that and still try to help heal you if you choosing to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't get that pass. The reason I say that is, again, I'm self projecting. I'm still learning. I'm still building. I'm still trying to become that man to, and like I said, I've been married. I was bleeding. Hey, I think I had a great foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kept a great foundation. I think I was pointing my family in the right direction. Now, did I know how to put the staff down, split the Red Sea, holler at God, say the right kumbaya, and get that water up? I ain't about to tell that lie,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew to do it.
How you gonna throw
So,
Maya in there?
I mean, hey, I can't speak in tongues, so I don't know what to shout out. I'm just saying, the Lord. but
Okay.
but seriously, we don't get that pass. It's
Mm-hmm.
like not a lot of women, even if you love us, not a lot of women are gonna be patient. It's like, well, I mean, most of the time I hear that if I could do it, if I'd have done this here, this wouldn't have happened. Da, da, da. We don't get that pass. So that's the reason it frustrates me. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when I hear that comment and say, "Oh, I want a leader," this is what I told the young lady last night. Okay, kings, queens, presidents, owners of companies, they might have a board, might have people that they counsel with, but those are choices, the tools that they use to make a decision, but they don't have to use them.
Mm-hmm.
So in any real situation when somebody's a leader, when they make a decision, that's just what it is. And everybody's
Yeah.
supposed to follow suit.
That's it.
A woman to say, like you said, that's it. Then I use this scenario. If you got a marriage going on with a husband, everything good, nothing's wrong. He says, we moving to Texas. I found a job. I think that's what's best for the family. You know how my mind placates that situation out?
Mm-hmm.
The woman being the net goes, okay, the man's made the decision. Okay, let me figure out what's best for us to do. Da da da. What do I need to do? Da da da.
You know what I hear most women say when I say that? Well, I mean, he still needs to talk to me first. I mean, he still needs to. I mean, he's just gonna make this decision. We just gonna uproot the family. Da, 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 da. I still feel like it basically goes back to the argument that our mother's generation of them had. We want to have an option. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
saying.
true. It's true.
I'm not saying that you don't have an option.
Mhm.
But if we're going to talk about what the real roles that people play in marriages and what tears our household apart, that the one thing Grandpa did when he put his foot down and said what it was, that's what it was.
Mhm.
And whether the mother liked it or not, she understood that balance. But the father also understood when he come home, outside of her nurturing and take care of him, whatever mama say in the house, go.
Mhm.
Because she's
That's right.
managing the tree. And he
Yeah.
didn't question that.
Yeah.
I had my great grandmother told me she had an uncle that used to whoop her, the mother, the wife, and the kids. If the kids was in line and someone right in the house, she got to whoop him. If the kids wasn't in line, she got to whoop him. If she was did right and them kids did wrong, they got to whoop him.
Mhm.
Now, I ain't for the abuse, but the point that I'm trying to make is when we were structured like that, we had less of everything that we got today. Um, but that's not the real point I'm trying to make. The point I'm really trying to make is women holler at this need a leader, need a leader, need a leader. Do you really want one? Because you don't
And
question the leader. You
that's the
don't.
question they need to ask themselves. That's why I told you, it just depends on what they actually looking for when it comes to that. You can't say, "Oh, I want a leader," and then when it comes to stuff like that, you like, "Oh no, that's old school." You can't tell me you can't do all that. And like you said, I agree. And some women feel like, "Oh well, most definitely, if that's your woman, it need to be a conversation." But still, at the end of the day, we still doing this because this is where you felt led to do. We're doing this. We're moving, but have a conversation and be like, "Hey, babe, this came up, and this is what I'm thinking about. We're going to end up doing." She got to step in. She got to start looking for stuff to try to find a place for them to sit up her and move, unless they already got that established with his company or whatever. But other than that, yeah, I mean, women need to actually know exactly what they want when they sit up there and say they want a leader.
I
Because if
genuinely want. Know what it is like you said, know what they want, but know exactly what that is. Like don't just
Mhm,
say, "Oh, I think a leader is somebody who can take me around the Monopoly board 3 times and teach me how to win the game." No,
mhm,
actually know what the definition of a leader is.
yeah,
Know what you're signing up for. And know that if you get a man like that, if he is considering your opinion, it's not because it's less than him or he's weaker or just no, he's considering his counsel.
yeah,
And the sad part that personal, I feel like that nowadays when you do seek counsel from your woman, they look down on you. And I think, and I now this is an assumption, and I really think it's because when a woman runs a household, she don't seek counsel. It's her way or no way because she's the leader.
mhm,
So then she gets with a man, and most of the time when it's like, okay, he's stepping up trying to be the man, you trying to be submissive, you're bothered by being submissive to him being a leader because you want your way because you were the
mhm.
leader. But
Because
now
that's what
you
they used to.
there
That's
you
what they
go.
used to.
There you go.
A lot of them don't know how to be submissive to their husbands because they're used to that. They used to being the lead and, oh well, this is my way. But when it comes to a marriage or whatever, they have to sit there and learn. It's a lot to come into play with that. It's a lot of work for a person to have to take to even deal with that and to know their role, because we all got roles. So
Hmm.
they have to know their role and being submissive to understand, like, hey, he's here now, especially if he steps up to the plate. I know a lot of people who they feel like their spouse is not stepping up to the plate, so they have to. And somebody said before, it was a guy. He said, we just go with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We go with one. Women, we bring on so much on ourselves, and we do. That is so true. Like, we put ourselves out there to be busy and to do other things that we shouldn't be doing, and just put a lot on our plate. and then we're frustrated. And we do. That's women for you, because we feel like we could take on this role, this role, this role. Oh, I got to do this with the kids. I got to make sure they got this, and that. It wasn't like that back in the days. No, it wasn't. We go outside and we pick up all this extra, and now we frustrated. We mad at him. We like, when you gonna step up? Because you ain't doing nothing. And he was like, I didn't tell you to do all that. So it's a lot that actually comes into play with that, but that's good. And then even when you said with young men trying to teach them their roles, I think that'll be something good for you to even get a group of young men and even start teaching them that role on how a woman should be treated, because you do have a lot of single ones, even with females, because they don't have that. So I think it would be good just to be that leader and teaching these young men on how to be, period, even when it comes to a woman.
I've been told that so many times. I've been told by women, you need to teach my boyfriend and my husband. um, and I'm not against it. I'm really not. I'm in a place right now where I've been thinking about doing more volunteering things, and
Mhm.
maybe once a month go get a room at the library or something.
Mhm.
I not the only thing I know right now. I need to get in a good place with myself and get disciplined as far as my scheduling and actually really sit down and actually do it. Because my one thing, learned behavior, raised by women, raised by a single mother. I put all these things on my shoulders. I put all these things for like the world. I got to take care of this.
Mhm.
And as a man, we have to be one thing at a time, whether it's something small and big to small or whatever. And I have to learn how to do that. That's my I don't know what word I want to use, but that's my Achilles heel.
You
Um,
do. You
you
do.
know,
And just pray about it. But I think you would be really good at it. I really do. And then even just getting the organization started, because I would even jump in there with you, and we could have one for the women and one for the men, because we got these teams coming up. They lost. They lost.
man,
Totally lost. So I think it's a good opportunity. Just something to think about. Just pray about it and
man.
see where
I really been wanting. It's been on my heart to just get kids together to talk about anything.
you.
Um, because I just don't feel like this generation doesn't have an outlet that they truly trust from an older standpoint. If you're not something that the generation looks up to, like
Hmm.
I know my nieces and nephews respect me not just because of their uncle being their uncle, but because I've been transparent with them their entire lives.
Right.
And I've never lost that youthfulness to me. And so they can relate to me to a certain extent, but I've always still, they've seen me be respectful. They've seen the ups, they've seen the downs, see me be loving, they see me be stern. So they just deal, but then they also bring their friends around me. Their friends call
Hmm.
me Unc, and they come
Hmm.
around me and they sit, well, I'll sit there and talk for 2, 3 hours, just jibber
Yeah.
jabber. And they're like this. They're
Hmm.
soaking it all up. And these are young men who ain't got no ties to me. Doesn't have their siblings call me Unc,
Yeah.
you know, because all I do is pour into these kids. I love children. I've always loved children. Um, they are our future. I don't care what nobody say. And a lot of times, I didn't feel like I had nobody to talk to growing up as far as in the house, my mother or whatever. So
Yeah.
I know that feeling. So
Yeah.
I really have been thinking about it. I just gotta, I gotta put me first and get my butt together, because I cannot be in front of no group of people and feel like a fraud.
Yeah.
I
I
can't.
know what you're saying.
Oh, I can't. If I'm sitting there pretending these kids to be disciplined, I ain't got none.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go home feeling so bad.
Hmm.
I'm gonna feel fake. I can't do it,
That's true. You still human. You still human. So it'll be
man.
okay.
I'm Superman.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
Mr.
you
I'm
are
Mr. Superman.
okay.
Eh. Oh man, you had said something that I wanted to touch on. Um, I think it was about the boys being raised by the mother thing. Oh, what was it? Anyway, And just to circumnavigate back, that's what creates the simps. like like the mothers who pour into their, I ain't gonna say that, you
Not because
know.
you got some that go hard and they
You said,
teach you.
well,
You got some mothers that go hard, like you said earlier. You got some mothers that go hard on their sons and they want to be a certain way, and half of them will take that anger out, and then they'll take it out on a woman. So it just
yeah,
depends.
I mean, and it's learned behaviors.
Mhm.
Like it's crazy. Even looking at my own kids, my oldest is a freshman in college. She's so much like me, and I laugh at times, but I'm like, certain things I I didn't know that she was picking up for me.
Mhm.
She's a female. She had her mom. And I'm her dad. I'm not saying women don't pick up learned behaviors from their dad. I
Mhm.
truly think,
They do. They watch. They sponge it all in. So you gotta
yeah,
always. People don't think their kids paying attention. They are. They looking.
ain't paying attention. I
Mhm.
I truly think most children, most creatures in the wild, take on the most dominant characteristics of whatever parent. The characteristics that dominate their personality comes from the most dominating parent. I truly believe that
Mhm.
because if you have just a single mom, a single father, they have no choice. But if you ever notice in the dynamic when kids have both parents, a lot of times since the 70s, the mother was the dominant figure, but the father was the dominant person
Mhm.
because of how the house was structured. But the mother was the one who was there all the time, who the child might have seen not check the father, but keep the father in his place. Where to them, it's like, oh, mama run things, mama run
Mhm.
the house. And they take on those characteristics. That's where problem resolution come from. If mama was a yeller, they become a yeller, or they deal with a woman that yells, or the young lady, she yells when she gets in an emotional state. All she know how to do is yell because
Mhm.
that was the dominant parent. It's not, to me, it's not always what they see their parents do. Because my mother's a yeller, I
Mhm.
can't stand yelling. I hate to yell.
Mhm.
I talk soft, like my
Mhm.
grandmother. I talk gentle. I talk soft. When I get angry, I talk with a scary little calmness. If I yell, my blood pressure go up, my voice gets scratchy, I'm ready to fight. Because now you got me yelling, my voice hurt, my throat hurt, I'm ready to kill
Mhm. Right.
you. But that's the exact opposite of what I seen because I got yelled at. My mother talks yelling.
Mhm.
And being a little boy in a house full of women, you get tired of getting yelled at. You get
Yeah.
tired of getting nagged on. You get tired. So I shunned away from it. My sisters aren't yellers either.
Mhm.
We got tired of always hearing it. But if
Mhm.
you got a dynamic where the mother shows dominance and doesn't do it all the time, how you
Mhm.
think we'd have turned out?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think that plays a part in it as far as just learning behaviors and things like that. And when you get older and dealing with people and let alone relationships, or even like I said, like we said, raising like again, quote unquote a simp, you get this mother who, you know, open the door and do this and make sure you do this and make sure you do that and do this and do that. And you ain't giving him no boundaries. You ain't giving him no game. You ain't. I have had so many men,
Mhm.
that we from the 80s that messed with grown women sexually when they were young, or even older women in relationships when they got older, and even with their mother say, man, they ain't give me no game.
Yeah.
And mama's got all the game. So you ain't giving your son no boundaries to women and no nothing. But then you
Mhm.
wonder why he out here with 10, 12 kids because he don't he all he knows he really good for one thing. That's what they want him for anyway. And
Yeah.
if he good at that, dude, maybe he don't feel like he has any self worth because you didn't teach him about his self worth. Teach him what self worth was. It's so deep when it comes to a young man and being raised by a single mother. Like I said, I couldn't tell you about a father. I didn't have one. I
Mhm.
didn't have a lot of men. I never men teach me anything.
Right.
Learn and observe. But like I said, I played the role of a simp before in a marriage, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm saying it's about myself, not even world dictatorship, but And I know where it stems from.
Mm-hmm.
It stems from being raised to be of service, put women first. Yeah, be a protector, provider, and all that. But I'm sorry, I'm here to tell you, fellas, whoever may see this, don't no woman respect a simp of any kind. It's a very thin line of being a gentleman, being a nice guy. We all know the nice guys finish first, right?
But that don't mean stop
I ain't
because of
saying stop.
women.
It's a balance though.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You
it's,
gotta
it's
you gotta put them boundaries up.
but that's what I'm getting at. How do you put a boundary up to a woman you love and you want to give the world to?
You have to, and
I, I,
like you
I know,
said,
but I'm saying, how do you do it if you're not taught it by a man and all you have
yeah.
is your mother?
Mm-hmm.
How do you when all you know how to do is be unconditional loving to your mother? She
Mm-hmm.
didn't put no. Most mothers put boundaries up with their sons, but don't expect nothing back from them.
Right.
When a man gets older, and I can speak on this. When a man gets older and puts up boundaries towards his mother, you think he's met with love?
Mm-hmm. No, she'll get over it though. She'll get over it because
You
it
hope.
gotta be
Do,
in
do she
place.
got do she got a man to help her?
She don't need one. It gotta be
Mm-mm.
in place though.
Somebody got to occupy that space.
Oh
She done
my
had a boy.
goodness. See, see.
I'm just saying. Look, we gonna talk about. We gonna keep real. We gonna keep real.
Mm-mm-mm.
Hey, hey,
See,
how
see
many?
the mothers like that. That's something different.
Hey,
No, that's too. That's too much. And
hey,
you got
you seen
some
that?
out here like that, but
You seen
that's
that
too much.
interview? I know you seen that interview with Ayana and that boy and that black boy and that black mother, and she had to tell, look how you talk to him. They was sitting at the table.
I don't know if I
You,
seen
I'm
that
gonna
one.
send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you. You're gonna be like, ooh, and that's I talked about that off screen, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these women have raised their sons up to unconditionally love them because they don't know if anybody's ever gonna fill that void.
Yeah.
To be truthfully honest, outside of your children, there really is no true unconditional love. It's very. I'm not gonna say none. It's a very small percentage, and it's still in a sense. However you want to look at the word conditional, depending on how small you want to look at it or big or whatever. I knew the big, because if you go from a Christian standpoint, you're supposed to love everybody like Jesus love and God love and all that, right?
You're
But if
supposed to
you get
love your
married,
neighbor as you love yourself.
yeah, as you love yourself. But if you get married and your spouse cheat on you, that technically is out for you to end the marriage by God's word, but you're supposed to forgive, right? And love unconditionally.
You do.
But
Most
but
definitely.
but cheating presents the condition for you to leave the marriage.
Yeah, but it just depends. Anytime man or woman, if they cheat, ain't nobody going nowhere the first time. If it keeps happening, then they like, okay, I'm not gonna deal with this. But the first time, say they do it or whatever, the man be like, "Oh, baby, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna do it again," or I don't know what the woman say, but um, and they stay, and it continues to keep happening. You get tired of that, and then they gone. Now they'll stay. It don't say keep on dealing with it. It don't say that, but
Tony Braxton mama said it best on that dang on show. That man cheating, let him cheat in pieces. God he got to deal with that with God.
that's what you
My
got to do.
opinion, if you stay with somebody who cheats on you and they keep doing it and you want to be with them, let them do their thing and let God deal with it because you're choosing to be there after the first time with me. Now, with
Hmm.
that being said, when I was blinded by love, I had a scenario where, let's just say something came to home that I had never even heard of. It wasn't nothing bad because it was STD, and it happened twice. Once my ex-wife was pregnant, once when she wasn't.
Hmm.
Wasn't none of the ones that everybody know from the hood. I'd never heard of it. The first time, I don't know where it came from. Must came from the toilet seat, some germs. So I believed her. Second time, I had to research. Like, this is an STD. What the heck? What the heck? Like, y'all see this? Y'all can call me stupid, naive, whatever. I told you I'd have been every road but the trick. I ain't
Hmm.
ashamed. I'd rather talk to maybe save y'all, heal y'all, open y'all up. I don't care. I don't care what you think, no way. But that second time when I looked it up, I'm like, what the heck? Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
To this day, she denies she ever cheated on me.
Yeah. You know she ain't gonna tell you the truth.
But see that, but that's my point. Why not? You caught, like, you caught twice. So
And
where's that unconditional love at?
they never still be honest. But that's a different topic. We could talk about that another time.
That
Because
ain't that ain't that ain't
that's a good
where
one.
unconditional love comes in.
Mhm. That's a different one. So
But yeah,
okay.
so
So
now you
anything
got
else
to meet
you wanna
Mr.
cover?
Simp guy who's played all the roles.
Right. So you want to explain to them, give them some advice before we get off of here, because I still got to do
Um,
my potatoes.
them taters. The only advice I would give any man, I'm gonna speak to men first. First, I don't care how long it takes you, learn to love yourself. Therapy. I'm a big promoter of therapy.
A lot of
Therapy,
people taking it.
be honest with
Mhm.
your therapist and be honest with yourself in
Yeah.
therapy. Let trust in the process. But you gotta love yourself and have confidence in yourself and believe in yourself and stand on what you believe on and don't budge.
Hmm.
I'm sorry to tell you fellas, most of us tend to bend and be a little more passive than we should. I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying don't trust in a woman. Well, I'm
Hmm.
not gonna say don't not trust in yourself because she's gonna expect you to. She's gonna have to look towards you for leadership and everything. And if you lack the trust within yourself, she'll sense it. Um, but if you trust in yourself up and build boundaries up, you'll be able to know how to really look at that woman and deal with her. But it starts with you. You the leader. You the captain of the ship. So what? Daddy wasn't there. Not saying it ain't gonna affect you, but at what point are you gonna stop using it as an excuse and say, you know what? I want to get a mentor. I want to learn from any aspect that I can to better me, to be a better person, to be a better father, to be a
For
better husband.
yourself. Exactly.
For yourself, and
Hmm.
everything will follow. I promise.
Hmm.
To women, be real with yourself. Like we said earlier, know exactly what you're talking about, what you want, because the tongue is the most powerful thing. And y'all do a lot of talking about what y'all want and what y'all need, and I'm ready to settle. I'm ready to get a man. I'm ready to fall in love. I'm ready. You saying it, God will send it to you,
Hmm.
but you might not be ready for what you're asking for.
That's it. Be careful what you ask for. You got to
But
be ready when he
you
do
got to
send
be
it.
ready, and trust what I tell you from a man's perspective, who is happily married, only been in two relationships, marriage is real work. It ain't like the best way I say it, and if you've been there, you know what I'm saying. Tina Turner said it best. What does love got to do with it?
Mhm.
You can love somebody and ain't got to be with them. You can love somebody who's done you wrong. You can love a lot of people, but love is work. If you want to be with somebody, it's patience, it's understanding, and like you have to be. I'm sorry, women. I hate to admit it to you. Grandpa generation gone. A lot of us didn't have no daddies. Y'all gonna have to be patient with us. Y'all might get with a guy at 40 and think he supposed to have together. He don't. He might have another 10 years till they get together. Yeah, he just might. But if you really see the potential in that man and you love that man and you see it's worth whatever, roll with it if that's who you want to be with. But don't hold it against that man that he ain't got it there yet.
Yeah.
Because at one point you didn't.
Yeah.
One point as a
Exactly.
woman, you didn't have it. And the world's more helping to a woman. Whether it's
Hmm.
your family, whether it's the public, whether it's the government, we don't get that. So be more patient with that man. I ain't saying don't be boo boo the fool now. I ain't saying
Yeah.
don't be blindly in love. But if you really believe in that man, learn to really be his neck and his support. Learn how to breathe life into him. Learn how to help him with his confidence. Don't make it worse than what it is. Because the most powerful thing you can do is help build that man's confidence up. So when he walk in that suit and his chest is held high and his back is straight and he feeling good about himself and he look at you and he's so happy that you think that you got him to that point and you get to wear your nice heels and your nice dress next to him because that's all you've been wanting to do anyway.
Hmm.
That's how you get that. How can you be a co-pilot if your pilot don't know how to fly? And if he want to read a book and you ain't even want to go to the bookstore and buy the book so he can read it, and maybe you might have to slide it on the table. Maybe you don't got the man that you can go straight say, here, baby, I bought you this book. It might hurt his pride. Maybe you just need to drop the book off on the table or put it in his lunch bag or something. Write a
Some
note, baby, this for you. I thought about you. Learn what femininity really is, not just some stuff you hear on the internet. Learn what the power of being a woman is. Learn how powerful silence is. Learn how powerful just you and your energy and just you walking across a room is. Like learn it by doing it. You only learn something by doing it. Don't just hear some stuff on the radio or internet and just think, oh, I'm a woman. Y'all gotta learn like we gotta learn. And guess what? Most of your mamas, I'm sorry, didn't do it. Didn't have it, didn't do it, didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
And
you
that's,
got
and that's
some out there that's good. You got some mothers that have taught their children the right way or the best way they know how. I'll put it that way. But
mhm.
anyway, I agree. I totally agree with him on some of the things that he said. And like he said, you got to build your man up, and y'all both got to build each other up because it ain't gonna get no better if y'all not building each other up. And it can't be one sided. It got to be both, But you stick by your man. You gotta, like he said, it's patient. It's patient. It's kind. It's long suffering. When it comes to a relationship, you have to be willing to take that time. You have to be willing to grow into something to see if it's going to even go somewhere. If it's going to fester, you put them seeds out there, see if it's going to plant, see if it's going to harvest. So do what you need to do, and quit calling y'all men simps, and be grateful that you got a good man that's going to be able to take care of you and your children. So quit calling them simps.
Please don't say it to his face. Because how many of the mamas out there saying, I wish I had a man come help me with these kids.
Exactly.
They
Exactly. Like
keep
you
calling them
better not
simps. Ain't nobody gonna be picking a woman with no kid.
now. You better not be sitting up there calling them simp to his face. It's gonna be ugly. But anyway, but so
Oh my god.
thanks for tuning in, everybody. We didn't get no comments tonight, which is odd, even though I came on a little bit later. Maybe they were busy today. But
The
thanks for
probably
tuning
comment.
in. Probably so. Thanks for coming in. If you do come back, please leave a comment after the show. You're able to. If you would like to join the show, if you have any topics, please let me know. You can leave it in the comment section as well. And thank you, Mr. Allen, for tuning in. Everybody, thank him. Happy Tuesday. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. It's getting late. I got to go fry these potatoes real quick. So I will check y'all out a little bit later.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. See you
Like and
later. And don't
subscribe.
forget to check him out on the red balloon.
Episode 15 Pop the Balloon. Mr. Pick Me.
Check him out. Check him out. All righty. See you.